I'm getting worried.
You're getting worried?
We should know something by now.
Oh, about Christian McCaffrey.
We should know something by now. Yeah.
I don't know. Could be a long line at the MRI place.
Yeah, sure could be. Or something's not right. Something is not right, and they're either figuring out exactly what a timeline is, or they're having a hard time accessing exactly what the injury is. But you know this, Dibs. We've learned this, especially in recent years, and working direct with Doc Pandia, and I used to work with Doc Chow at the station in San Diego, who's at Pro Football Doc on Twitter. Like, these guys can look at things basically as soon as they happen and have a pretty decent sense of what's going on. What's going on right away.
This one's a tougher one, though, because it's an inside one.
Well, you don't know if it's rib or oblique or what you really don't want, which is both.
Riblique. It's possible riblique, which is the official medical combo. I hate to go radio doctor on you all the time, but I got a 2 from Grandy. My first 2 in the new building.
That's exciting.
It's possible riblique. Yeah.
2.
Thank you.
Why haven't we heard anything yet? What's going on?
It's only 4:30.
What do you mean it's only 4:30? They're already Debo's day-to-day. Trent's day-to-day. Christian is not here right now.
Getting an MRI.
Stop it. Christian's still getting an MRI. It takes 12 hours to get an MRI.
You ever been to a doctor?
Yes.
You think you just breeze right in?
Yes. I've had a brain MRI before that took less time than this.
Have you?
I have.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's weird. Well, all the migraines.
Did they find anything in there?
No, it was really
had to
unsettling.
get a second opinion.
You ever been in that machine?
Oh, I've been in the MRI too. But I can't stay away.
With your head. You put your head in
my
there?
shoulder. I had my whole body in there.
Dude, it is the skin.
Oh, it's comforting. It's one of the most comfortable places.
The little bars and everything are like 1 centimeter from your head.
Yeah.
And you're in there, and it's just making all kinds of weird noise.
Oh, it's quiet in there. Thump, thump,
Bing,
thump,
pong,
thump, thump, thump,
ding, 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 ding,
Oh,
ding.
my God.
It's like, am I in a slot machine right now? What is happening? But seriously, what are we doing?
We'll get there. Why
I know we're going to get there.
I mean, it's
kind of a big deal.
No, it is a big deal.
Christian freaking McCaffrey.
But they're not in any rush to, burst out with the news.
They would be if it was good.
Right, and it's not good.
Yeah,
what makes you think that it's good?
Nothing. That's my point. My point in bringing this up is that I think something's bad.
So if it's bad, then they're going to come out and tell you what it is, but maybe they don't know exactly what it is. It's not as easy as you go in the MRI and then they take a look. It's like, oh, it's X, Y, and Z. Sometimes these things take a little bit more study and observation.
I understand. I understand. That's just not all adding up to anything good.
I agree with you there.
I'll say this, too. I do have this running back note. This is courtesy of our buddy Matt Barrows.
Okay.
Kyle Shanahan praised Jordan Mason's play Sunday. But.
Boy, the big but.
Sounded like Elijah Mitchell and not Jordan Mason would be in the lead role should Christian McCaffrey miss Monday's game.
Okay.
Eli Mitchell. Not Jordan Mason.
Eli Mitchell, who authored 2 carries for -3 yards. That same Eli Mitchell?
That's the guy.
Okay.
And the Vikings have an interesting run defense. Pass defense is crap.
But their run defense is pretty good.
Is okay.
Okay. I haven't started to get into the Vikings breakdown just yet.
Yeah, no, we got time.
I'm still reeling from what the Browns did to an offensive line that had a pretty damn good start to the year. And, I'm watching the game, and all eyes on the Trent Williams-Myles Garrett matchup because I wanted to see, Myles Garrett, is he going to wreck the game? And can Trent hold his own? And I give Trent high marks for the most part, but it was every other member of that defensive line. Guys are just coming out of nowhere. Owusu Koromoa, a menace, and all these other guys.
It's a good defense.
It's a nasty front.
It's a good defense, and they got him.
But they didn't need a game-wrecking performance from Myles Garrett for the rest of the guys to wreck the game.
No, although I think sometimes we get a little sideways on just the stats and the pressures.
We do.
There's a lot more attention paid to a Myles Garrett, which opens up things for others. It's no different than Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa finally got his 2nd sack, but a lot of people are like, where's the stats? Well, all the attention is thrown at him. And so it's going to open up things for other guys. I will tell you one huge positive that came out of yesterday's game. How about Randy Gregory?
Yeah, how about it?
That looked fantastic.
In limited
snaps, he had a lot of production. So I think the 49ers, who got him for a song, have to feel really good about that.
Yeah, but I think 15 snaps was the number.
I think it was a little bit more than
26 is what he ended up with.
Yeah, but he had a sack and 2 pressures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how about the Nick Bosa sack, which that is a DE, a pass rusher's dream, where you burst forward and it just, the parting of the Red Sea.
Both of his sacks this year have been that.
Yeah.
So I'm ecstatic about that.
For sure.
Thanks, Nick.
There's a free run and, a little breakdown in protection, and Bosa's able to just cruise right on in.
Let's go to Barbecue Jonathan in San Carlos. Hello, BBQJ.
Hello, Willard. Thanks for taking my call. I'm going to ask a pretty specific question because I think I heard this post game. Is it possible that Jake Moody prefers to kick from the left hash marks because that's what he did in Michigan? Would have set him up in the left hash mark. And if that's the case, I wonder if the Niners were aware of this and would have helped them be a little more successful. I was talking to my friend Robert. He wasn't sure either. I hope you guys can settle our concern about whether there's this left hash mark type of preference for Jake Moody.
Well, I have no idea what the preference is. Here's how I would answer what you're saying, though, BBQJ. I would say if the 49ers don't know the answer to that, that's malpractice. I would be shocked if the 49ers sideline doesn't know the answer to that. And if indeed he does have a left side preference, with the wind blowing to the right, by the way.
Yeah, a little left to right.
You could argue that if you were just going to spike the ball anyway, and I'm trying to remember, did the Niners have any timeouts left?
They had one.
Okay. If you had a timeout left, then Brock Purdy could certainly grab the ball and do the dive to the left to set the ball up on the other
just
hash.
Like the wiggle, wander, kneel that we see sometimes.
Right. So it's like if Jake really had voiced a preference, I got to imagine that the 49ers would have done something to honor it, knowing that they were, for the last 40 seconds of the ball game, preparing to hand the ball game to Jake. That was it. They knew. It's like, okay, we've arrived. We're handing the ball game to Jake. This is it. Why wouldn't they honor his preference? So if that is a preference, I got to think that the 49ers knew it and didn't do it, which makes me think it's not a preference.
Yeah, I wonder. And I mean, dead center is dead center, and that's basically where it was. It was about one football away from being in the middle of the field. So no excuses in terms of, it wasn't right hash. I'm looking at every kick that he ever took in Michigan, by the way. I love YouTube for that. And I'm seeing a variety of left hash and right hash. So I would imagine that Jake Moody is comfortable from either side. But that's something that I asked in the crossover is, Jake Moody, does he have a preference? And would they have rather been on the left? That's something that hopefully Kyle Shanahan gets asked here in the near future.
I have some developing news that I want to throw out. It's not Christian McCaffrey related.
Is it hash mark related?
Nope. It's
is
not
it hash
either.
related?
No, it's pregame scuffle related.
Okay, good.
Ready? Another one just happened for Monday Night Football.
Really?
Cowboys and Chargers. And way bigger. This involves almost the whole team for both teams gathering at the 45-yard line at the home of the Cowboys, SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles.
I get that.
All gathering and a little pregame scuffle. So to follow your rules, who got who here? Who goaded who into the pregame scuffle?
I'd have to see the video to find out.
Well, I thought the 49ers got goaded into it because they're 5-0. They should be above it. Should one of these teams be above this?
Absolutely.
Who?
The Cowboys should be above it.
Why? They're coming off of a 42-10 butt whipping.
Act like you're a team with championship aspirations.
The Chargers aren't. The Chargers and Cowboys, I think, are pretty even squads.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys fancy themselves, and if you listen to Mike Parsons, he would tell you that they fancy themselves as equal to the Niners, so you should be above that fray. His words, not mine.
But I'm sure the Chargers play. You think Joey Bosa's like, yeah, we're not any good. I mean,
I'd have to see the video to see who goated whom.
I'm the wrong Bosa to talk to if you want to talk about playoffs and championships. Go talk to my brother.
Yeah.
He's the one who's got a shot. I doubt that he would feel that way. This is a good one, though, brother. This one goes way past what the Niners and Browns did.
This is Harry High School. You are professional football players. You can't pregame scuffle and then bro hug and prayer circle after the game.
Of course you can.
This is show stuff.
Well,
show
this is
pony.
football.
Get outta here.
Dibs. You are not a spring chicken.
They're actors, Mark. You're acting with all the tough guy acting.
Where have you been on this? This is football.
You don't see football in the pros pregame scuffles very often. This is Harry High School.
This kind of chatter happens.
This is Johnny College.
Teams can't get through training camp without getting into scuffles with one another and
with
their
one
teammates.
another. That's a different story.
That's what this is. This is
trash talk and grandstanding and guys trying to get each other's goat.
I don't know what your perception of NFL football players was before this weekend, but I would argue that based on hearing you, it might be off a little bit.
Whoa.
I'm right?
I mean, geez.
I'm just saying. These are NFL football players.
You're making it sound like this happens every single week and every single game.
It happens a lot. A lot. Preseason pushing and shoving on the field.
That's preseason.
Yeah, pregame. Pregame.
Right.
Trash talk, pushing, shoving,
Sure.
getting, you're standing on my logo. This stuff happens all the time.
I'm surprised that you think it happens as often as you think it happens.
All the time. And in general, though, just the idea that it is in some way like, as you're calling it, Harry High School.
Yeah.
Maturity is not what we're all here for.
Right.
We're not here for maturity.
But
if you want maturity, go to a library.
This is not
NFL
Florida
game.
State and Miami and you're coming out with the U, and I'm going to warm up on your half the field, so now we're going to empty our benches and pose and preen and prance.
I don't know,
football,
man.
This doesn't happen that often.
Micah Parsons is the leader of the Dallas Cowboys. This is a guy who found a microphone 24 hours after going down 42-10 and said, just trust. This happened again.
Right.
It's going to look different. We're asking for librarian behavior.
I'm not asking for librarian behavior. I'm asking for professionalism. And so you're going to come out and you're going to try to get into a brawl with the opposing team. How about you go out and then you just stick it to them on the field, which, by the way, is what the Browns did to the 49ers on Sunday. They went out there and they stuck it to them.
Not really. They won.
They dominated them.
They didn't dominate them. They won by 2 points.
Okay. They had knocked their two best skill players out of the football game.
Yeah. In the trenches, they were better. They were better. But I think we got to avoid every time somebody loses, it's like they were dominated. Like the 49ers lost by a foot. They lost by a foot. Browns did a lot of good things, messed with the 49ers situation.
They lost to a third-string quarterback who tried repeatedly to give you the football game.
Yeah, absolutely.